Chris Janik's CYInterview covering Las Vegas and the world with actress Zoe Saldana winning the Best Supporting Actress Award at this year's Oscars for Emilia Perez. We look back on our 2011 CYInterview with her where she talked about Colombiana and being in the Avatar franchise, of course, that is directed by the great James Cameron. Here is that CYInterview.
This is Chris Yandek, and you're on CYInterview.com. For one actress in her 30s, being in the highest domestic and worldwide grossing movie of all time is a reality. Actress Zoe Saldana's role in Avatar puts her in a unique place in film history. Now, looking ahead 2 years later, Miss Saldana is opening her own movie this weekend, Colombiana, in theaters nationwide. In Hollywood, it is still a very big honor for anyone to open a movie, let alone a Latina woman. The last 2 years have been a very busy journey for Miss Saldana, traveling the world. However, she sets the record straight with me that she was not near an emotional breakdown like other media outlets reported in recent days. Those two topics and many other things from her life are discussed in this upcoming interview with one of Hollywood's A-list women. We welcome in Zoe Saldana, who will be in a big movie out this coming Friday. Miss Saldana, thank you for joining me today. 3.5 years in the making. How is everything going before we begin?
Very, very good. Good to be on the show.
Your career just over the last decade, I believe, in film has been a climb of independent movies and studio films and box office hits, but getting the opportunity to open your own movie is still a really big deal, especially for a woman. With this movie, what does this big moment mean to you?
It means so much. It's besides the fact that it's a Luc Besson movie, and I'm incarnating one of his femme fatale characters that he's been always known for delivering really, really well. That to me was an honor to get to work with a director like that, because he's been amongst other directors in my bucket list of people to work with. I love the fact that it was also a physically challenging movie, where usually it's male actors that get to be the protagonists in these action movies, and for it to have been a female and also a Latina female, it made me feel so happy and humbled.
Yeah, it's a one-of-a-kind thing, definitely, for sure, and a rarity in the world of Hollywood. Still, I'm all for equality, of course. I always believe that you give everything to every role you've had in your career, and you leave nothing off the screen. Is that true, and do you feel like this movie was a chance to use all your acting abilities as this leading lady?
Yes, I am. I am a very hardworking person. I feel like it's the least that I can do if I get a director that basically gives me the responsibility to go, hey, I trust that you can do this. The least that I can do is prepare myself very, very well, so that by the time the cameras are up, it comes as second nature, and I can do justice for a character. And when fans walk away, an audience walk away thinking, okay, she did a great part in that character, and it was so essential for the story, it makes me feel so good, that reward, and it makes me know that everything that I do, once you dedicate and you give 100% of yourself, as much as you humanly can, it's impossible for it to go unnoticed.
You've had some action and thriller roles in your career, but did you ever think you'd play the bad girl action star? It's almost like Tomb Raider-like with the big gun. Did you ever want to play the girl packing heat?
Yes, absolutely. I grew up watching, from Sigourney Weaver playing Ellen Ripley to Linda Hamilton being Sarah Connor, and I just thought, oh my God, they're just so badass, and that's what my character would gravitate towards. I'm a fan of movies, and I'm a fan of all kinds of stories, but I'm really excited about action movies and science fiction.
In other films, like the one that you have here, you have different love interests and interracial relationships. What do you think people still make a big deal about this, that you have a white male love interest in this movie, for example? Why are we still having this conversation about interracial relationships, whether it be on film or in real life?
I don't know, and I really don't. I try to the best of my abilities to understand with questions like that. mean and what they have behind them, you know? And it just doesn't really exist in my realm. I wasn't raised to look at people and box them. I was raised to just judge someone by their character, and I've guided myself in my life accordingly. And when I go for a part or I go for a movie, that's the last thing on my mind. All that I want is for the directors to cast the most amazing actors, whether they be female, male, or whatever. And so, you know, working opposite Michael Vartan, or like working opposite Zachary Quinto, or Sam Worthington for that matter, Ashton Kutcher. But that was a different sort of kind of subject. But I've never seen as like, oh my God, I'm going to be working opposite like a white male. I've never seen it. To me, it's like an actor, and he's so talented, and we're going to play these lovers, and God, I hope the story is believable. I hope we'll really do the best job that we can. I've never thought about that.
Simple point, my opinion. Life, it is what it is. Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
Whatever makes you happy. Through your career in life, has it been important for you to have your Latino roots come through in your roles, like this one?
I mean, it's very important for me in my life to have my Latino roots come out through my life, you know? And that to me is the only thing that matters. When I'm looking at a character, whatever this character is, whether she's an alien or she's, you know, the operator on the Enterprise, or I don't know, or a woman that's looking for revenge after the death of her parents. Those are the things that I see, and then unless it was something very specific about their racial background, then I will obviously incorporate that into a character like Cataleya. You know, she was from Colombia, and she's sort of like, you know, she moves to the United States, and so obviously she was Latina in her roots.
Okay, well, I read you suffered exhaustion and had, I believe, a reported near-emotional breakdown while training for this movie, though there is notoriety, and there are a lot of perks that come with this in the business. It can be quite stressful, and you can burn yourself out. It doesn't matter if you're famous, you're just still a person. Reflect back upon that for me, what you learned, and do you think it's hard for people to understand what dedication it takes to be truly successful in the media and the entertainment business if you're not in it, and the stress that comes with the daily life? I've always thought that.
You know, I made a statement on one of the magazines that I was getting interviewed for, and I feel like, you know, everybody sort of ran with it when it comes to like a nervous breakdown. There was no such thing.
Okay.
It was just after coming out of such a beautiful and emotional roller coaster that was Avatar, from the moment that we shot it to the moment that we delivered it to the world, through award season and everything. I was on such a beautiful emotional high that by the time that was over, you know, once your body releases so many endorphins, you're left a little dry. So that was when I sort of, you know, sunk down to my body and my being, and my body just told me, like, okay, can I please have a break now? I'm really tired. And I jumped immediately into prepping for Cataleya. And I remember waking up every morning eager to go train, because I'm such a workaholic and so excited to be doing something new. But I was realizing that my body was just felt a little heavy, like it just didn't want to move as fast as I did. I wasn't getting things as fast, and I remember I would cry I watching a commercial or being really overwhelmed. And I remember calling my mom and telling her I don't know what's going on, and she's like, "Baby, you're just a little tired. So whenever you have a weekend off and you're not training or anything while you're shooting, you know, Colombiana, just sleep, stay in bed." And she knows, I'm her daughter, that's impossible for me, because I'm so extroverted. I'm so like always moving. So that was what was going on, but it wasn't like I was having a nervous breakdown that needed like taking care of or anything. I just needed like a little week off. That's it.
So no emotional breakdown, no nervous breakdown,
No,
just stress. Would you call it stress? Just stress?
Not even stressed, because I wasn't stressed about anything. I think I was just a little tired. Once I got off all the planes and I stopped wearing all the gowns and I was able to wash all the makeup out of my face, and you know, you talk so much. You're doing interviews all over the world 24/7, so you're expelling so much energy, and you're forgetting that you need to take some back, or you need to hold some back for you so you can have fuel for when you wake up the next day and you're off. And I didn't do that. It was a new experience for me. So I did realize that I was a little tired, but I think it happened to all of us, because everybody, from the cast to the director and the producer of Avatar, everybody took a chunk, at least 2 months off, and they all traveled the world, with their families, and they or they slept, or they just went away, or they hid. And that's what I should have done. But some of us immediately went back to work, and it didn't hit us until it was time for us. And I remember I was in Paris, and I was with my niece and my mom and grandma, and there was this, and and they were visiting me in Paris, and I was just so happy that they were there while I was training and shooting. And we had a loss in our family, a very, very close loss in our family, and that, I feel, was the tool that kind of unleashed. And for a weekend, I just stayed in bed, and I cried, because obviously I'm missing the family member that we just lost, but then my body also just needed to kind of expel some emotions. I was just tired. So it concerns me a lot when things are blown out of proportion.
Well, the point I can say to you is, you very well know this interview will be run in its entirety with a full transcript, and I am not for those kind of things. So glad to help you clear it up. 3 more quick things. How do you describe being part of now the #1 domestic and worldwide grossing movie of all time?
Blessed. I still look back, and it was such a magical moment, because from the moment we became part of it and we started training, we just knew that it was going to be special, because the script was so beautiful and the message was just so strong about the environment, about us treating each other with respect and not being so ambitious and greedy. And then by the time the movie was released, and it touched so many hearts all over the world of all different ages. Jim even took the movie to the Amazon and showed it to a tribe there, and they were very moved by it as well. So for you to be in consciousness that you were part of something that not only was it monumental for filmmaking, but also it was extraordinarily heartfelt for humanity. It makes you feel so proud to be a part of it,
Absolutely, 100%. What do you hope people take away from everything you've done with your life?
That I hope that they're inspired to work really hard for what they believe in, and to fight for their dreams, to make them possible. I love to work, and I'm never afraid of the hardship that work entails, because for me, work is part of life. The moment you're born, you have to work every single day of your life, whether it's to work to stay connected to your family, work to educate yourself, work to better yourself, work to feed your dog. Everything in life is work, and we for some reason feel we're more obsessed with the rewards that work would have, and we don't really think about all the lessons that we learn while we're in the journey. And that, to me, is the most important part. So I really hope people take learn that from what I do and the policy of life that I have, that to me what's most important is the journey, and it's not getting there.
Zoe Saldana, thank you so much for joining me today. Last thing, bonus round time. A lot of people don't know, but 3.5 years ago there was a little spot in the world on her front of her MySpace page where me and a few of her biggest fans and the people that work with her chatted for a few months, and it was like the best kept secret on earth.
I love that.
It was so funny nonetheless. Zoe, thanks so much as always. Wish you the best in the future. Good luck with everything, and it was great to finally talk with you after 3.5 years on the other side of the phone.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you too.
Thank you.
A special thanks to Zoe Saldana, her publicist Gary Mantosh, and everybody else who helped get this interview set up. It was greatly appreciated. For CYInterview.com, I'm Chris Yandeck.
Thank you for watching as we look back in time with actress Zoe Saldana on our 2011 CY interview with her. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button below to keep up with everything we have going on here at CY Interview in Las Vegas and beyond, and I will see you in the next one.